Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can run a simple PHP local server. So to run a PHP local server, you first need to have a PHP installed on your machine. So if you don't have PHP installed on your machine, or you don't know how to install PHP, I did a video on this where I show you how to install PHP, so I'll leave the link in the description for you to check them out. But yeah, if you already have PHP installed, let's just get right straight into this video. But before we get started, I just want to ask you that if this is your first time here, then please consider subscribing and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a new tutorial. So with that being said, let's get started. Now to get started, the first thing that I want us to do is just run cmd, which is command pro. So come to your window here, right, and then just type cmd and then open command prompt there, right. Then the moment it open up, I just want you to type in php small caps hyphen capital S and then type in localhost colons and then just 8000, right. php small caps hyphen a capital S and then localhost colons and then 8000 and just press enter. Right now you see here on Monday this time, which is the same time that I got here, right, you created a PHP development server which is a local host of 8000, right. And then your server now will start looking, when you want to open your file, your server will start looking in this folder which is your C drive on your user and then admin. That's where your server will start looking for, right. So what I want us to do next is just go to this folder here, right. So go to your work computer, then I want us to find this, it's in user. Make sure you are in your C drive there, user, and then you are in admin. So in here, this is where your server will start rocking. So now what I want us to do, I just want us to create a new folder. Make sure you create a new folder. You can give it whatever name you want, but I'm just going to give mine server. So like I said, you can give whatever name you want. So give that server. We created a folder then. So open this. Now in here, this is where you should put all your PHP file. This is where you should put all your PHP files, since this is where your server will be looking for your files, right. So now that we created that, the next thing I want us to do is create our PHP file. So open your text editor, whatever text editor you are using. I'm using our Visual Studio Code, so I'm just going to run that. And then as you can see, it's opening up here, it's new. So I just want to add my file, open that folder, that server folder, so you know how to add it to your text editor, whichever way it's in here, right. In our user, I want to admin, and then I want to add my server folder. So just click on that, don't open it, click it, and then select folder. That's the folder that you want to open, right, you want to add to. And then as you can see, this is the folder that you added, right. So like I told you, in here, this is where your file will be. So let's say you got maybe working on 10 website or 10 company website. So or there you have to create like a folder for each company, right. So let's do that. Let's just say come into your text editor, and then you want to create a folder. Let's just name this tutorial, right, folder there, and then press enter, right. You created a tutorial folder there, right. You can create it whichever way. You can create it through your text editor, or you can create it somewhere here, right click and then new. It's just the same thing, it's the same folder. It will be added automatically to your text editor, right. So now that you open that, you are in here. So now in here, I want to open my PHP file. So just going to click on this icon, say then new. So I'm just going to give this index.php. Every PHP file should have a PHP extension, right. Press that, and then you created your PHP file then. So we already know, whenever you are working on web, you are a web developer, so every website got HTML in it. So in HTML and PHP, they like go together. So I just want to create a simple HTML structure. So just create that and then press tab. You created that HTML structure, and then now in here I just want to, let's say, add h2. Let's just say hey there, right. You got hey there, that's your HTML in your, and then save, right. So now you want to run this file here, your PHP file. So for you to run it, you have to you have to come into your browser. I'm using Google Chrome. So come into your browser, and then you see you created your PHP. I just hope you didn't close it. So you created your PHP there, you got your local host. So now you have to give it access, and for you to open this server, for you to run it, you have to access it through here, through this local host. So I want you to come into your browser, type in localhost 8000, and then if you press enter, you see as well at the moment it's empty, right? Remember I told you, if you come in here, I told you that your server will be looking in this, right? In this UC drive, user admin, and then you now got your admin there, right? So if you come in here in your browser, your server, you are just in admin, right? In here, so your server, you want to point it to this server drive here, folder there. You have to point it to that server folder there, right? So to point that, you have to come into your browser and then point it to your server, right? And then point it to your server there. That's your server. Now if you press enter, you will see it saying not found. You pointed it to your server. But if you come in here in your file, you know your tutorial or your PHP file is in this tutorial folder. You got this index there, right? So you have to point it. Now come into your browser, you have to point it to your next folder where to find that. So type in tutorial, right? Type in tutorial and then press enter. So now once you press enter, you will see your file is now open. Hey there, your PHP file is now running. If you come into your text editor here, you see this is your index file with hey there. Now you see it's now opening there. So you point your server that no, my file is in this server folder and then in my tutorial, right? And then you see it's open. The reason it's open, you didn't even have to specify that no, my file is this with the name of index. Is this, if you come in here, is this with the name of index. The moment you just specify that no, I have a file, a PHP file in my tutorial, it's just started running or open that index file. And the reason it open is because you save your file with index, right, with the index name. So if you already know by now, whenever you are working on a website, so when you are naming your files, all the time, that your home page should always have an index name. I believe you already know that by now. So your home page should always have an index name. So you can give whatever, all the other files, you can give them whatever name you want, but your home page should always have an index file. So the reason we are doing that is because when like somebody enter your domain name and they are trying to access your website, so when they enter it, the server will go through all your files and then they will see if you have any file that with the name of index. So if you have that file with the name of index, and then they will access or open that file first. So your index file, it should always be your home page, and that's what happens here. You didn't have to specify, you just access your tutorial folder. So this server went through your tutorial folder and then it find that no, you have an index file, so let me just open that. So that's the home page, right? So even if you, let's say you got this time you only got one file here, right? So let's say you had two files in there. Let's create another file. Come into your text and then just create another file. Let's say it about, let's say, and then .php, right? Press enter, right? You created your about page. As you can see, it's empty. So let's just add our HTML, enter, right? You got that. Let's just add, let's say, our h3. Let's just say about page, right? You created that and then save, right? And then come in here, you're trying to, if you come in here, you see you got your two page there, your two file, the PHP file. So if you try to access that, let's say that if you just come in here and then press enter, you see it's still just accessing the hey there, which is your index file, right? You saw that. Now if you were to change this, let's say to see that, let's change this, the name of this file, let's rename it. If you were to rename this, let's say to contact, you rename that to contact, right? Now if you come to your browser and then press enter, you see press enter, now it's saying no file found, Why is that? That's because the server went through your folder and then it was looking for a file with a name of index to open, but then it find out no, this person doesn't have any file with a name of index, so now the server doesn't know which file to open. So for it to open, you have to specify that no, I want to run my, which is my about page or my contact page. So you have to specify in your browser. You have to now put in / and then you have to specify that now I want to open, let's say, about.php. That's the file that I want. Then if you press enter, you see you open now your about page, right? You remember when you had an index file, you didn't have to specify. Your server just went through your file, your folder, and then it saw that now this is an index file, so this is the home page, let me open that. You didn't have to specify. But if you don't have an index file, then your server doesn't know which file to open. So for it to open, you have to specify. So even if you wanted to open the contact page, you have to specify like contact and then contact, and then you see it's hey there, right? So that should be that's something that you should keep in mind already, and I hope you already know that by now. Whenever you are working on a website, your home page, you should always save it with an index name. You can say index.php or index.html, but your home page should always have an index name, and then you can give your other files, you can give them whatever name you want. I hope you already knew that by now though. But yeah, that's all you needed to know. I just needed to explain that no, when is the same thing here. So your server is going through your folder and it's trying to going through and then reading all the files that are in there, and then if there is an index file, it will open that index file and you didn't have to specify. But if there is no index file, then your server won't know which file to open, so you have to specify like we did here. You have to specify, like point it to like no, yeah, in this server, in the tutorial, I want you to open the contact.php file, right? You got that, you can run that. So and yeah, that's all you needed to know, and it all just happens here. As you can see, if you come in here, whenever you open a file, it's being registered in your server here, right? It's being registered there, right? Got all this, is being registered to your server there. So that's how crossing without sending a request and all that is being accepted. So everything, whenever you open a new page, it's being registered to your server. So yeah, hopefully you know a bit of how servers work by now. And yeah, that brings us to the end of this tutorial though. So I hope this video was helpful. If you find it helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Now leave us a comment down below. Now if this was your first time, then please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a new tutorial. So with that being said, that brings us to the end of this tutorial. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace, love, and unity.